Welcome to Gamebird Spotlight. This is a re-recording of one I did last week, and the audio was atrocious, so I scratched that and decided to re-record it and put it up. I am going to change our time from Tuesday evenings to another time when possibly I can get better audio because there'll be um, less tension on the web, and hopefully we can get more done, get a better quality. So, welcome to Gamebird Spotlight. This is the program from the North American Gamebird Association, providing information, bringing issues, inspiration, as well as ideas to the Gamebird industry. One of the ideas that I want to bring is this idea that we can get our environment with Gamebird products. Now, if you've been to any of the Gamebird conventions, you know we hold an auction and there are always Gamebird products. If anybody finds out that you raise Gamebird, you're going to get Gamebird items. Little, okay, and everything's backwards. So I have to, okay, some little figurines to whatever feathers of the figures that you raise, you could just Gamebird, it could have feathers, or textiles, or cuticles, or anything. So I want to talk about what we do with it. Now, if you have too much of a different is too much. What we want to do is use it well. And during the World War II, there was a saying, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. In fact, I even took that and used some vinyl and made a sign for it. Of course, the parts that are not here in the middle are on a tray that will be hung up. But what do we do with all this stuff? If you go to any kind of conservation banquet, you're going to have items that you're going to want to bid on to support that organization. We have back here, you can see behind me, I have to think backwards here, okay, a collage of Gamebird prints. Of course, you've got the Terry Redlands and the duck stamps and tons of other items that are possible to have. And if you group them together, and of course you can see my very dusty duck hanging up there, you can take multiples and put them together and have one mounted example of that. Like, for example, if you have 3 duck prints and you have a duck that's mounted there, or you have goose prints and you have them arranged and you have one goose mount, or a turkey fan with turkey prints, or other items along that line, you can have one area where you have multiple items and they convey one central theme. In life, there are wealth producing skills and there are wealth preserving skills. Now, after a while, you have more prints than you have walls for. And we even added a large addition, and now we still have too many prints. You can use them wisely by having certain focal points. So let's talk about that saying, which has been attributed to our President Calvin Coolidge and other people, but it was made popular during World War II. Use it up. Instead of buying anything new, use what you already have. I have many items. A beautiful bowl that has pheasants on the side. The bowl was part of a set. The rest of the set is kind of wonky. It's square dishes and it doesn't have birds on everything. And I suppose it'd be cool if you had the whole set, but that one bowl is really beautiful. So you can repurpose something that you already have, use it in a different way. Don't have to use it for a serving bowl all the time. It could hold balls of yarn or other items like cocoa packets or something that you would have in a in a kitchen, possibly on an island with a placemat or something underneath it. Move things around for eye appeal. After something's been in a place for a while, you no longer see it with your mind's eye. You see it with your eyes, you know it's there. If it isn't there, you're going to notice that. But move things around. Try them in a different way. Use it. Don't buy something new, just reuse, repurpose something that you already have. Go through what you have and declutter. When you organize and you clean, you'll find some things that are kind of pushed to the side that you can bring out and use in a different way. Find those hidden treasures. It's not hoarding things. That's your stash. There are things that you might have that you're getting ready to use at some point. Well, now's the time. Get them out and use them. It's not a stash. I mean, it's not hoarding. It's a stockpile. And we're going to talk about some things that could be stash busters. Along the line of use it up, think about what you already have, but think about also what you already do. If you sew, quilt, maybe you're into vinyl cutting, taxidermy, painting, welding, metalwork, carpentry. Use those skills and the things that you have and present them in this different way. Maybe you like woodworking. Maybe you can make a shelf where some of these items that you have collected can be together and have a grouping and a collection that is pleasing to the eye. We also want to think about reducing, reuse, recycle, another common phrase that we use. That's where we use stash busters. So over the last year, I have been stash busting by using material that I had stockpiled. And I will show you some of the things that I am going to have available at the Hunt Club conference for the silent auction. One is a Gamebird feather theme bag that has space inside for groceries or knitting or whatever. It can be a handbag, and it has wooden handles. So this material you will see repeated throughout my stash theme. There are 3 of these bags. This one, you've seen the Vera Bradley bags that have wild prints. This one is along that line. There are pheasants in it with paisley and others. This bag has pockets inside for your phone, other items that you might want to keep organized. So that with a leather handle set is one thing that I use, and I won't go into how to make these because there are enough YouTube videos that would show you how to do this skill. This is yet another one. A pheasant print with a blue lined bag, and again, pockets inside for storage to kind of keep the clutter down. Those 3 bags will be up for auction at the Hunting Club Conference silent auction. Other items that you can make from material that you have on hand are pillowcases. These pillowcases are easy to make. They require a 27-inch piece of material on the fold of the fabric, as well as a 9-inch accent piece and a 2-inch accent piece that will draw out whatever concept or whatever print that you want to accent. And again, I won't go into how to make these. Plenty of YouTube videos for those. Again, these will go on sale at the silent auction at the Hunting Club Conference. That wild print, the wild paisley pheasant print, it made a nice base for this set of pillowcases for a room that, say, maybe it has a basic green or a basic brown. So in this case, what you're doing is using basic colors for the sheets And the pillowcases that came with it, say an off-white or a light brown, I'd pull out of here. Maybe you like the burgundy and pull that out and have a set of sheets and you're accenting them. You can then accent with something that is a pheasant or gamebird style print. That's what I want to talk about for use it up. Use what you've got. If you have material on hand, go ahead and use that. Number 2 is wear it out. Deconstruct things that you have used and no longer want. Let's say you have a tapestry pillow that has a hunting theme. Why don't you take that apart, maybe use the material for something else? That could be or take a pillowcase or a bag, make it into something else that you could do. Reusing materials for another project. Reorganize your wall hangings, your paintings. I've talked about the cluster groups with mounts. Thirdly is make it do, repurpose this. Use something as an accent within another item, like this little bird. Could be just added to a plant and suddenly it takes on a whole different life as an accent rather than a focal point. Pheasant feathers in a wreath. Let me show you something somebody gave us. This is a vine wreath, and these are turkey feathers with some pheasant feathers. There's some pine cones, Christmas bells, etc., and somebody's antler that is used in there. That's a simple craft. It would go together with a craft wire to be held together, make a craft wire hanger in the back, and that would be able to give you just a touch of Gamebird in some other thing. All right, make it do. So pheasant feathers in a wreath, a ceramic within a plant arrangement, or a few feathers in a plant decoration or flower decoration. The last one, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. I think we think that sometimes we have to have everything that somebody else has. We don't need to keep up with the Joneses. My apology to the Joneses, but I talk to my kids a lot about need versus want. Something that is less oftentimes has a greater impact than too much. For example, I have a beautiful glass vase filled with pheasant feathers. This is very pretty, could sit on a table, but I don't think it's any prettier than a small vase that has 3 or 4. So sometimes having less actually brings your attention to it much more than having a ton. Okay, it's the law of diminishing returns. Okay, let me put this back over here. Now let's suppose you do have craft items on hand that you've gotten, or you want to do something with them. You don't have to have these accent pieces everywhere. We're not being Gamebirdier than thou, but suppose you want to. At craft stores, you can find very nice panels of different Gamebird prints. And those can be used to make pillows, wall hangings, use them to make your pillowcases with just a couple of the panels on there. That would work, and that would give a taste of that in your bedroom. Some of the other ones that we have on hand, this is a big panel, and it does have a pheasant in it. In this case, the pheasant's going sideways. Let me turn him up. We're going to be using these at the banquet at the Gamebird conference. Let me go up with it, try to get it where it's supposed to be. There we are. And they're very pretty, they're very big, but that would give an accent to a table, and it's something that we have had for a bit, and those will be used down there. We have, so here's another pillowcase with a lot of tail feather material. I had one piece of material that had a border on it. Took the border and made it a part of the pillowcase, as well as using another piece in that. These are used in our the Bear Guest House, which is a guest house we house hunters in. And I suppose you can use that material and make clothing items as well. So here is one I did ages ago. I had, there's our tail feather material, body feathers, more body feathers, and another pattern that has birds, complete birds with their little feathers. And I put that together. That is a peasant skirt, a multi-layer effect. And obviously anybody who sees that and knows birds knows what I do for a living. Okay, if you don't have things on hand and yet you want to decorate either a hunting organization or your home with these, where do you get these products? First of all, the easiest place is to go to a quilt shop and see if they have anything on hand. That is a simple place to go. If people don't give you them already, they have a tendency to show up around our house about Christmas time at our white elephant Christmas present. You can go to quilt shops, you can go to thrift stores, do an online search for Gamebird prints or Gamebird items, or go to garage sales. A lot of times you'll find something that you say, well, that fits our household. Avoid high price retail stores. Yes, you can go to some of the big box game or hunting or outdoor stores and find things, but you can make do a whole lot cheaper by finding something and doing it yourself. I think that's everything from me for today. If you would like to get a hold of me or ask a question, feel free to put comments on our Facebook page, or you can contact me through info@northamericangamebird.com. I'm going to also encourage you to join the North American Gamebird Association at northamericangamebird.com. You also have ways on that webpage to be able to ask questions, contact us through links on that page. If you are a member, feel free to sign in, look at back issues of the North American Gamebird Association's magazine, the NAGA News, or look at other issues that are happening. In 1 week from today, the day of this recording, we're going to be having our hunting club conference, the first ever for our association. And if you are a Gamebird raiser or a hunt club, feel free to contact us. We would love to have you there. And thank you for joining us on this live stream.